like and subscribe for more. Hey, can we just stay like this for a minute before you say anything? I know it's Tuesday, and I know it's late, and I know I'm probably the last person you wanted to hear from tonight. I'm not here to start another fight. I'm not here to defend myself. I'm not here to twist anything around and make it sound less ugly than it was. I needed to talk to you when the house is quiet, when the world finally stops making noise, because I owe you the truth in the softest voice I can give it. And the truth is, I was wrong. Completely wrong. Not half wrong. Not we both said things. Not I was just upset. Not you misunderstood me. I was wrong, and I hurt you, and I've been sitting with that all evening, hearing my own words back in my head, and they sound even worse now than they did when I said them. You don't have to look at me if you don't want to. You really don't. I know you're still upset. I can feel it. The room feels different when you're hurt. You get so quiet, and that silence is somehow louder than yelling. That's one of the worst parts, actually, because when I'm angry, I throw words around like they don't matter. I get dramatic, sharp, defensive. I act like winning is more important than understanding. But you go quiet when you're hurt, and tonight your silence has been following me everywhere. Into the kitchen when I poured water and didn't drink it. Into the bathroom when I stared at myself in the mirror and thought, wow, I really did that. Into the living room when I sat down, stood up, sat down again, picked up my phone, put it back down, typed out 10 different apologies, and deleted every single one because none of them felt honest enough. So I'm here. No screen, no excuses, no hiding behind a text that you can read without hearing the way my voice shakes. I want you to hear me. I want you to know that I know exactly what I did. I was cruel on purpose. That's the part I hate admitting the most, because I didn't mean it would be easier, wouldn't it? It would make me feel like less of a bad person. But some of it I did mean in the moment. I wanted to sting you. I wanted to make you feel as bad as I felt. I wanted the discomfort in my chest to become your problem too. And that is not love. That is not how someone treats the person who has been patient with her, gentle with her, good to her. That's not how I should ever treat you. You were trying to talk to me. That's the crazy part. You were calm. You were trying so hard to keep the conversation from going off the rails, and I just pushed anyway. I interrupted you. I rolled my eyes. I laughed at the wrong moment. I brought up old things that had nothing to do with tonight because I knew they would hit a nerve. And when I saw that look on your face, that look where you're trying not to let it show that I got to you, I kept going. I kept going. God, I keep replaying that part most, because there was a second, maybe 2 seconds, where I could have stopped. I could have taken a breath. I could have said, you know what? I'm upset. Let me calm down. I could have chosen us over my ego. But I chose my ego. I chose being right. I chose being loud. I chose making sure I had the last word. And now here I am, on a Tuesday night that feels way too cold, asking the person I love to listen to an apology I should have given hours ago. You know what the worst thing is? It wasn't just what I said. It was the way I made you feel small while I was saying it. That's the part that makes me feel sick, because I know you. I know the little changes in your face. I know when your shoulders tense. I know when you stop arguing, not because you agree, but because you realize the person you love isn't fighting fair anymore. I saw all of that, and I did it anyway. You trusted me with your soft spots, and I touched them like weapons. I am so sorry. I'm not asking you to tell me it's okay. It's not okay. What I did doesn't become okay just because I'm crying now, or because I'm speaking softly now, or because I finally found the right words after the damage is already done. I know that. I think that's why this apology has to be different. Not pretty, not clever, not full of those little phrases people use when they want forgiveness without accountability. So let me say it plainly. You did not deserve the attitude. You did not deserve the sarcasm. You did not deserve the accusations. You did not deserve to have your intentions twisted. You did not deserve to be punished for my bad mood, my insecurity, my pride, or my inability to sit with uncomfortable feelings like an adult. That was on me. All of it was on me. And I know part of why I acted like that. Not as an excuse, just the truth. Sometimes when I feel scared, really scared, deep down, I become mean before I become honest. I hate that about myself. I hate that instead of saying, I feel overlooked, or I feel insecure, or I need reassurance, I turn into this version of me that acts like she doesn't care, like she's above it, like she can win an argument hard enough to outrun her own feelings. But all that does is leave wreckage. You, us, the whole night. I know you were probably sitting there wondering how the conversation got so ugly so fast. Maybe wondering which sentence was the one that set me off. Maybe wondering why nothing you said seemed to make it better. It's because I wasn't listening. Not really. I was waiting to react, waiting to counter, waiting to protect my pride. And when someone stops listening, love starts losing oxygen. I keep thinking about earlier this evening, before all of it. It was such an ordinary Tuesday, the kind of Tuesday that should have disappeared quietly into the week, you know? Nothing dramatic, just dinner, the light fading outside, that little tired look you get around this time at night, the one that makes me want to smooth the hair away from your forehead and tell you to come sit with me. It should have been simple, and I ruined simple. There's something especially awful about ruining an ordinary moment with someone you love, because the ordinary moments are the real relationship. Not birthdays, not holidays, not big photos, not anniversaries with perfect lighting. It's Tuesday nights. It's dishes in the sink. It's tired eyes. It's half-finished conversations. It's deciding whether to sit in silence together or talk for another hour. And tonight, I turned one of those little real moments into something painful. I'm sorry I made home feel tense. I'm sorry I made you feel alone while sitting right beside me. I'm sorry I made you question whether talking honestly to me is safe. when I'm in that kind of mood. That one matters most to me because I never want you to feel like you have to measure every word around me in case I explode or snap or use your honesty against you. That is not the kind of girlfriend I want to be. That is not the woman I want you to have to love around. You know, I kept trying to tell myself after the fight, well, I was upset too, as if that somehow balanced the scale. But being upset does not excuse being unkind. Being emotional does not excuse being disrespectful. And loving someone does not give you a pass to wound them just because you know they won't walk out at the first sign of difficulty. If anything, love should make me more careful with you, more protective of your feelings, more willing to slow down before I speak. Instead, tonight, I acted like your patience was something I could spend recklessly. And I think maybe part of my apology has to be admitting that I've done versions of this before. Maybe not this bad, maybe not with the exact same words, but enough that I can't pretend this is some completely random accident. I get defensive, I get sharp, I push. You stay calm longer than most people would, and eventually I realize I've crossed a line. I don't want that to be our pattern. I don't want your kindness to become the floor where I drop all my worst reactions. So here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to ask, can we just forget it? I'm not going to nudge your arm and make a little joke and try to fast forward to normal because normal would be easier for me. I'm not going to ask for a hug just because I feel guilty and I want comfort. That would be me centering myself again. Tonight is about the hurt I caused you. If you need space, I'll give you space. If you want quiet, I'll respect quiet. If you want to tell me exactly how I made you feel, I will listen all the way through and I will not interrupt, correct, explain, or make that wounded face people make when they want sympathy for being confronted with their own behavior. I will sit there and hear it, because you heard worse from me tonight. I also want to say something that maybe I should say more often when things aren't broken. You are good to me. You are. You are patient in ways I don't always deserve. You are steady when I get messy. You try to understand me even when I'm making it difficult. You offer softness without making a show of it. And maybe I've gotten too used to that,